Welcome back. Our next guest is a Jefferson Award winner who continues to give back, along with a former 49er who is a transplant recipient from Give Life, Save Life. Please welcome Keith Crawford and Dean Moore. Welcome.
Thank you.
We appreciate you being here.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
It's good to see both of you. Keith, I want to start out with you, and I want you to talk about the genesis of this nonprofit. It really was born out of tragedy.
I was given birth due to an unfortunate car accident. My daughter, Brittany, 20 years old, April 1st, 2012, we got the news that she was in a terrible car accident. Unfortunately, through the trauma of her head and just other issues, she was declared brain dead. So the Crawford family made the decision to donate her organs. And within 48 hours, 4 people were given the gift of life. So that's how Give Life, Save Life was given birth.
And so how is it possible for you to sort of push through that pain to come to something that would help others?
It's not easy. It's not easy because it's still fresh. However, during this journey, I was able to meet so many incredible people, such as Dean Moore, other recipients, organizations that came together and say, hey, we need to make a change in the African American community. However, each day as it passes me, it's like I'm pouring more into bringing awareness and education around organ donation.
And you talk specifically about the African American community. There really is a deficit as far as the number of donors in the African American community who check that box to become organ donors. Why is that?
First of all, it's at a sobering low in reference to the percentages. I would say on a nationwide level, over 11% of African Americans are signed up as organ donors.
Just 11%.
Really low. Even up to date, there's a lot of myths that are going on out there from by them checking the box, the EMTs might let them die, or just, a traditional type of thing where I'm going to my grave with all my organs. So it just goes across the board. However, we just need to break those borders in reference to highlighting the importance of saving lives.
And let people know that exactly as you said, it saves lives. And Dean is a living proof of that. So tell me your story, Dean. How did organ donation help you out?
Well, if it wasn't for organ donation, I wouldn't be here. I had a heart attack in 2001 was the first experience of it. I was diagnosed with cardiomyopathy. And my transplant took place in 2001. And if it wasn't for a donor, I wouldn't be here today. We had a number of issues with it. They had me on a left ventricular assistance device, which sustained life for a while. But it's very important that the people know the myths about that follow being a donor, that those things are just myths. This is living proof that being a donor saves lives.
Absolutely.
And by them participating, we grew up thinking that we came here with it, we go with it, we leave with it. But reality is, life goes on through sharing, whether it's sharing organs or sharing food or sharing whatever the needs are. We need to meet those needs. And this is just part of a need, but we have to have the courage to sign up for that and not worry about what happens afterward.
Very powerful to talk to someone who is living proof of that fact. And Keith, you are traveling around now talking to people about your story and spreading the word to let them know that organ donation does save lives. So tell me about that. You're traveling to schools, talking to people.
It's been challenging, but on the other hand, it's been very rewarding in reference to numbers. What we're doing, it's changing, the myths. A lot of people are saying, you know what, I think it's good that you guys are doing this. Maybe I will check that box. Very rewarding, yet at the same time sobering, because again, as we continue developing outreach and building relationships, there's still questions, there's still doubts.
I think it's interesting that you've been reaching out, particularly to young people as they're getting their driver's licenses, because that's a critical time to sort of push for people. It just takes checking that box, right?
Absolutely. And when we do the high school presentations, I always bring visuals. One is with Brittany with her graduation picture. And then the next visual I bring is the last time we saw her, which she was on a ventilator. So, of course, it raises consciousness to the youth saying, wow, second year out of high school, first time driver, wasn't an organ donor, however, saved 4 people's lives.
Absolutely. And you talked about that low number, 11%. Is that correct? 11%.
Yes.
When will you know that this has been a success? Where would you like to see that number?
As soon as possible. There's no better time than the present. Just by the works that we're doing, the outreach, the testimonies through Dean Moore and other recipients, it will make a difference. But we have to push and just let people know the importance of it. This is something that you don't read in the newspaper or see on a program. This is our story.
Okay.
This is our story.
What does it take to move the needle and sort of get it to the level that you would like to see? What level would you like to see as far as the number of African Americans who become organ donors? I'm sure you'd love to see 100%,
I mean,
but pushing toward that goal.
I mean, as we're making baby steps and progressing, the numbers will increase just by us doing the works that we're doing. Everyone needs to get involved, from households to church houses, the community, families. We need to have a game plan. I mean, life is so short. Is that, how do we make these preparations? Or why is it important if we should be organ donors or not? We need to have that conversation.
Sure. And Dean, when you were actually going through your medical problem with a heart attack, did you know that there was such a low number of African American donors? Was that something that had even registered on your radar?
No, actually, I wasn't aware of the fact that our participation in donorship was that low. My donor was Dr. Scott, and he was Caucasian, but I think the people need to know that doesn't matter really. They just need to participate. They save lives by participating and moving this thing forward. Life doesn't stop with one individual.
Absolutely.
Actually, that individual can continue on living through donorship.
Absolutely.
I met a beautiful family through donorship, and that family they're dear to me now, and they're very important that those that do participate, that we encourage them to participate, and that they see the results of participation.
Okay.
That's why I'm here.
Thank you so much. Participate, that's the message. And for more information, you can log on to givelifesavelife.org, givelifesavelife.org. We'll be back with more after a short break. Stay with us.